Hello everyone. On my craft table today I have a tutorial for you about how to use a tubular herringbone to start a crochet rope. Okay, so first we'll do the herringbone stitch and then start a rope. See, in the earlier episodes I was teaching you how to begin crochet rope, tubular crochet rope, and then we graduated to smaller beads and then designs, and then later I showed you how to even use this as a starter rope and make further ropes from this. Okay, now for those of you who are not able to even do the bead crochet with big beads like this, I have another method here. Now this method is something that I have used on my own. I haven't seen anything like this on the internet or being recorded anywhere. So I used a tubular herringbone rope as a starter rope for my crochet rope, and then it worked out fine. This tubular herringbone rope is a bead weaving stitch done by using a needle and thread. And see, this rope we started with a crochet stitch, whereas this we are going to start with needle and thread. It will be useful for those who cannot do the crochet right in the beginning, so a tube like this would be much more preferable. It is tubular in shape. See, this is a 6 bead herringbone tubular rope. Okay, because it is made up of 6 beads, and this we make this tubular herringbone, and from there I will show you how to do the bead crochet rope on that, and later and how to detach it from this also. Let's begin with how to make the tubular herringbone. For this you are going to need 3 different shades of beads. See, here the beads that I have are these very big beads. There could be any size, it is of no specific size, but they are quite big with very large holes and irregular in size. It doesn't matter because it is only going to be a starter rope. So this is for ease of use. I use always a bigger bead for the beginning. And then I've got some cotton thread on my needle. So what you should note is that the needle and thread should be able to pass into the bead like this. Any needle and thread which matches this criteria can be used, but preferably use cotton to practice so it is easier to work with. And you also will need a small bead like this, which is called as a stopper bead. So this is any odd bead which you will use. You will put it on your needle, bring it to the end of the thread, and just make a stitch like this. So this is called as a stopper bead. The purpose of this is to stop your beadwork from falling out. So that's all, which will be later removed when we finish our project. Now for the first time you will pick up 4 beads of the same color. Okay, and bring your needle up through the first 2 beads only, like this, and when you pull it, it will form a square like this. Bring down your needle in the adjacent 2. Pick 2 beads of the blue color and pass your needle from the top to the bottom. See, our tail thread is coming, the working thread is coming out from the bottom. So now you have to insert the needle from the top. So you have made another 2 bead here. So this stitch is called as a ladder stitch. So this is the beginning for the tubular herringbone, a ladder stitch where we are going to stack 2 beads next to each other in columns like this. So pick up 2 more beads and stack it up next to it like this. And the working thread is far away, so you have to now bring your needle back down to these 2. Pick 2 more of the pink color. and sew it like this. See, all these knots are all very usual in a beader's life. There you go. Good. So the bead is now sitting there, and pick up two more and stack it up like this. So now you see we have put totally 6 columns like this. Once this is done, we are going to just fold it like this so that we zip it up and make it into a tube. To make it into a tube, insert your needle from the bottom like this, bring it up and zip it up. So to zip it up, you'll have to go down the next 2 beads, the last 2 beads that you added. So when you do this, it becomes into a tube. Now your working thread is at the bottom. So to start working, our working thread should be from the top. So bring it up once again, and thus you see a 6 bead tube is formed. Now begins our herringbone stitch. And every time we will be picking up 2 beads each for herringbone. Hold your work tightly in between your fingers. Pick 2 of the maroon color. Bring your needle down 1 bead, and when you place your beads, they will sit at an angle like this, and that's how it is supposed to be. Now next step is to bring your needle up the next bead, that here it is the blue bead. Bring your needle 1 bead up only. Pick up 2 beads, come down 1 bead, and place your beads properly. If you give it a little nudge, it will sit in place like this. Bring your needle up the next bead. You are ready to put on the last 2 beads for this row. So 2 pink, same way, go down 1 bead. Now we have put 2 beads each and our row is complete. See, you see it is a flat top now. It is complete. So when it completes, we have to do a method called as step up. So to complete this row, you have to insert your needle under both of the beads like this. So this is only when you are completing a round, and this is called as a step up. So when you do this, your round is complete. You're ready for the next round. So you see, you're forming a nice 6 bead herringbone tube. And you will continue like this for some length now. Each time you'll pick up 2 beads, go down 1, set your beads right, come up the next bead, pick up 2 more of the next color, come down 1 bead, go up 1 bead in the next stack, pick 2 beads of the third color, go down 1. Now we have finished this row. So what should we do? We have to do the step up. For the step up, you will pass your needle through both the beads that you see there. Okay, a step up has been made and you have completed one more row. So like this you will complete the rest of the tube also. Now I'll get back to you when I finish a few inches. Okay, so I've made a few more, I guess 5 or 6 rows after that. And here I am ready to close it, and I'll show you how to close this so that we can use it as a starter tube. Okay, see, when you look here from the top, you can see it is all of them, you can see all of them are quite open like that. Now all of them have to be closed together or zipped up together to hold together. So this one, this tag and this tag has to be zipped up together. So follow the thread path that I am doing, and when you do this your beads will zip up together or they will come together like this, and this is what we want. Okay, go up the next bead. The next bead, both of them already have joined together, but even then we will continue with the same step because that's the only way we can reach the next stack. Go up the next bead, then come down through the previous bead. So you have joined both these beads now. Now time to move on to the next stack now. This part is already closed, but still, but even then you will go through that bead once again. Come up the next bead and also close it. Okay, now this kind of sewing, see, brings all the 6 beads together, and you can see the thread bridges around the tube. What I call thread bridges, see, are these thread paths that are between both the beads. So that is what I call as a thread bridge. Okay, now it's done. If you feel this is tight enough, you can continue, or if you want, you can even make the same stitches once again all around. So now since I've completed this attaching together of the beads, I'm going to now take the working thread and sew it into the tube. This is to keep it out of the way for now because we are going to use this as a starter rope. So we don't need this thread here. So I'm just moving it away from there. So I just brought the working thread right down till the last bead. And I'm just going to leave it there like that. We don't need the thread for anything. What we need is only the top of the tube, which will become our starter tube. Okay, so this is what is called as a tubular herringbone rope or herringbone stitch. Okay, now this step is how to use this tube as a starter rope for us. So how to use this and make our bead crochet slip stitch rope. So as you know, we need to thread on all the beads onto the to the ball of thread. So here I am using cotton thread again, size 20, and I put on some orange color beads in multiples of 6 because this is a 6 bead herringbone rope. So our pattern also should be of 6 bead circumference. So I have used only one color and in multiples of 6. I have chosen a length which is equal to multiples of 6. And then I've also put on 6 beads of a different color and one more bead of another different color. So 6 beads of one color and one of the other color. If you have followed my earlier tutorials, you will know why I am putting on the different color beads here. Okay, with that done, we'll start the attaching, we'll start making the crochet rope on our tubular herringbone tube. The needle I'm using is 1 mm And the beads that I've used are 8 size 8 beads. Okay, now you see this is a flat tube. Okay, so because it is flat, we can start anywhere. Unlike the crochet tubes, the other starter tubes I showed you other tutorials, one of them used to be raised and the others used to be flat. But in this, all of them are flat, so we can start our rope from anywhere. So there is no starting and there's no ending point here. So you can start your crocheting from any one point. But you using the thread bridge. This is the thread bridge that I am talking about. So to begin with, let's bring the working thread of the crochet that you are going to do. Bring it out from one of the under one of the thread bridges. And because this tail will be hanging out and will come in our way and it will be loose, use a tape and secure it like that for the time being, so that the tail thread stays in one place and doesn't move out. Now bring down the first set of 6 beads and we'll begin our slip stitches. We started the rope in one of the by bringing the starting thread under one of the bridges. Now I'm going to insert the needle in the under the next bridge and then bring down one bead and slip stitch like that. That's all. Okay, under the bridge like that, bring down the bead and hold the bead tightly and slip stitch. That's done. That you have placed the first bead. The second time, go under the next bridge, bring down another bead and make your bead crochet slip stitch. Now your needle under the third bridge, bring down your bead. That's the third one, and we'll continue like this. So here again, don't rush into anything. Please take your time and do it very slowly. And these beads are anyway going to be removed, so you don't have to be very cautious about the tension and other things. So, but take your time and make the stitch correctly. See this last one, there is a bridge here which we can easily, it can easily be hidden. So you have to watch out carefully and make sure that you use that bridge also and make a slip stitch there. So we have placed 6 beads on top of the herringbone rope now. From here it is as usual. You will be making your bead crochet slip stitches as you have learnt earlier. See this first one, the bead, because it will be very loose, it may not sit in the place where directly you want it to. So you will have to just hold it with your finger at least until you finish your first slip stitch. Yeah, first slip stitch done in the second row. And now it is as usual, you will continue with the bead crochet slip stitch all around. But until for a certain length, please make sure that you have 6 beads in each row, so that you don't miss out on a bead and then you'll have to redo your work again. So if you count and do the stitches initially for the first few rows, then it will be more easier for you. Otherwise you'll have to keep on pulling it out and making fresh ones, and handling the beginning is the most difficult part. And later when you are done the rope for a few inches, it will be easy. Even if you make a mistake, it will be easy to take it off and do it again. But the initial rows are a little bit messy, difficult to hold on to and things. So You must be very patient in doing this part, especially. No need to rush. Watch out where you're inserting your needle, how your thread is sitting, how your bead is. All that you'll have to just take care in the beginning rows. Here we have got now 6 beads done. So row 2 done. So the most difficult parts are over. Now it is as usual. It's more easier to do the stitches from now. Now continue working in your style, your bead crochet slip stitch style, until you want for the desired length. And you don't even have to remove this now. You can remove it only when you finish the project, whatever you're doing, and you're ready to attach it also as a necklace or as a bracelet. So continue doing like this with the starter rope at the base, because that will give you something to hold on to when you're working. See, this herringbone rope or tubular herringbone is of a 6 bead circumference. So only a 6 bead crochet rope can be made on this. If you want to make for a 8 bead or a 10 bead, then of course your herringbone, tubular herringbone should be equivalent to that size that you are making. But I have only tried for 6 because most of my crochet tubes are either 6 bead or 8 bead. I don't do bigger than that because the beads I use are size 8, so my ropes are quite thick even for 6 and 8. So I've used only 6, but you may try for bigger numbers and let me see, let me know how you are successful or how you are able to do that. Here, see, our rope is getting done. Now I have completed a few more rows for length, and because for now I want to show you how to detach this from the mother rope or detach this from the starter rope. So in otherwise you would continue working like this until you want to. Okay, this is a place where we have to detach. And first let us take out this tail thread of the crochet rope now. And the first bead that you have to take out is this gold color bead. That's the odd one, no, often we put. So that gold color bead, see, easily it just comes out like that if you put your pin into that and take it out. So the next bead that you have to take out is this one. And if you watch closely or if you look inside the rope, you will find one thread, this green color thread, which will be lying parallel to the bead there. Okay, that if you look inside you will be able to see that, and once you remove that, it is easy to remove this next bead also. Okay, as easy as that. Now since you have more space, your thread will be very visible here. See, very easily you can see the parallel thread that is sitting next to the bead. If that is removed, then insert your pin below the bead and take out the bead like this. Looks really, doesn't just look easy, it's also very easy to do once you practice it like a couple of times. It gets very easy. Now, the best thing or the happiest thing about using a starter rope for me is to get a good finish or a good start for the crochet rope. Otherwise, I would never be able to start a crochet rope as neatly as this. So, using a starter rope has been a real blessing for me, and now I don't hesitate to start any rope at all. See, especially we need a clean beginning when we want to have an invisible join in a bead crochet, like for bangles and for bracelets. If you want to have an invisible join, if your beginning is neat, only then you can join them properly invisibly. If the beginning is not good, then it's not going to be easy. And this is the last one. So looks like a little bit of thread tangling has happened, but don't worry about that. You just look out for the color thread that you want, and then see, just remove it like that. That's all. There won't be any problem, but you will have to just watch out. And the last bead, see, this is the last bead that has to come out. See, now you know why I put on a different color bead, because it's easy for us to identify which bead to take out. And here you see clean, right? See, you can see your crochet rope with the 6 beads. So let's count if there are 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So a 6 bead crochet rope is ready with a beautiful neat beginning. Now you can continue your rope as you like. See how clean and flat it is. So continue your rope like that. And this one sits in the box until you need it for the next time. So keep it safely. Like I told you, this one is it's a 6 bead tubular rope. So it's suitable for 6 bead crochet ropes. But if you want bigger, you have to make a bigger one, like for 8 or 10 or even say 4. You'll have to make like a separate starter rope for either of them. So this is how I make a tubular herringbone rope and start a crochet rope on that. And I've also shown you how to detach it from the mother rope and continue with your work. If the tutorial was useful to you, please hit the like button and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.